This Week in Wrestling is on the air. I'm Knuckles Nelson, along with ARCH KINCAID.
Good evening, Knuckles.
Good evening. Are you expecting to spill some of your food or something? You seem to have some sort of bib on over. Is that some sort of fashion statement that I'm not aware of?
Just trying to jazz up the broadcast a bit, Knuckles. Nothing wrong with that. Perhaps you could do that as well, as opposed to wearing a ratty old t-shirt.
This is a brand new Boston Bruins shirt, and I will respect your freedom of expression. But win, lose, or draw, no matter what happens with the Bruins, I am a stern supporter of all Boston teams, including our ice hockey team. Have you ever driven a Zamboni?
No, but I've seen others do it.
Well, we're just 2 or 3 days away now from the big event at the Lafayette Club in Amesbury, and I got to tell you something. The buzz around town, everybody is looking forward to you getting trampled by Rick Fuller.
Well, they can look forward to it, and perhaps it shall come to pass. But I myself do not believe that it will, Knuckles.
I'm very perplexed by all of this, Archie. What do you got up your sleeve?
Knuckles, I don't get flustered. I don't need to come out here and scream in order to get my point across or act angry. I know what I have prepared. If it works, it will work. If it does not, I will learn and then employ the proper tactics in my next encounter.
But Arch, seriously, for one moment, I know that, and I mean this in no bad way at all, you're in the early stages of your career. Without an injury aside, I see you having a very long career in the wrestling world. And when I used to prepare for a match against Rick Fuller, when I was first starting out, I would do #1, right in my pants. So I don't understand how you are sitting there so calm. It's got to be a rouge. It has to be.
You always like to refer to my new hair color, don't you, Knuckles? But that was you, and this is me. And there is a difference.
And you can sit there and tell me with complete sanity that you are not nervous about the prospect of getting knocked around by Rick Fuller?
Not nervous at all. If it happens, it happens.
Well, did you see what he did to another Killer Kowalski alumnus? Damon Doc Angelo, several weeks ago on This Week in Wrestling, where he beat him like a red-headed stepson.
No, I missed that telecast, and you can say this and that and try and spoil my spring by making me nervous, but it's not going to work.
I'm not trying to make you nervous, Archibald. I'm trying to find out what you have up your sleeve or under that gimmick around your neck. I'm just trying to figure out where you're coming from, that you can actually sit there and you're not even sweating. You're like Charles Emerson Winchester. You don't even sweat.
Knuckles, Rick Fuller is a massive opponent, and he is a massive task. But I have some ideas, and I will employ them. If I lose, then I lose.
Are you aware of the fact that Rick Fuller has publicly stated that he's looking past this match in anticipation to face the winner of BAD Brian Day and Kid USA Jay Gillette, and he's not even taking you seriously? Perhaps, this is your strategy. Ha! Answer the question, Kincaid.
You've done it. You've unraveled my wicked plot.
I gotta tell you something. You probably wouldn't fold under questioning. I'm very impressed with that. We got a lot of things to get to here this week. We have part 3 of the special interview that Doug Bozak conducted with BAD Brian Day, which, in my opinion, has been very informative for the fans and has given them a real inside look at Brian Day and the way this guy operates. Now, I remember Brian Day being in the studios in Amesbury, Adelphia, last year, and he was really basically a green wrestler who fumbled through the entire time that he was on the show. And I'm not looking to get hit for saying that. My point is, he seems a lot more poised. He seems a lot more focused. He seems a lot more powerful, if that can possibly be. I've never seen the guy in better shape. And I really, I'm pretty good when it comes to pick'em time. And I think we'll be looking at a brand new New England heavyweight wrestling champion in a matter of days.
interesting point about the green wrestler. Now, Lou Ferrigno
It's an
portrayed
expression.
a green monster in The Incredible Hulk, and he and Brian Day actually have very similar physiques. Good point, Knuckles.
Yeah, Brian Day kind of resembles Burt Reynolds on steroids, wouldn't you think?
I am not that familiar with Bert's work, although Cannonball Run, was he in that?
Oh, I love that movie.
Ho, ho, ho.
But my favorite all-time Burt Reynolds movie is The Longest Yard. And why are we talking about Burt Reynolds? What did you bring that up for? We have some important things to get to here tonight.
Yes, proceed. You have the itinerary, I don't.
Well,
I'm just here for the benefit of the viewers.
certainly one of the most popular competitors in wrestling Star Wars is Astro Man.
No doubt about it.
From the Dominican Republic, personal friends with Manny Ramirez, Pedro and Ramon Martinez, and he even knows Pascual Martinez, the younger brother that hasn't come up yet.
Pasquale.
He's very good friends with these guys and now makes his home in Lawrence, Massachusetts. He's known as the Caribbean sensation. Well, that's what Brian Webster called him. He's actually from the Dominican Republic, though. Is that in the Caribbean?
Let's see. Geographically speaking, I would have to say that I would need to consult an atlas, and then I could get back to you.
Mr. USA, Tony Atlas? He
No.
would have that information for you?
Oh, he may have that information.
Tony Atlas is a legend in Puerto Rico, you know. I mean, I could tell you some stories about him that I definitely couldn't tell on television.
Well, then don't share them on television. Tell me later, as you just stated.
Could that leopard-type attire that is somewhat around your neck, as if a snake were around your neck, is that a Gucci? What is that? A Halston?
Please continue.
Well, I think when you get a guy that takes the time to put a thing like this around his neck, you can't just let it go like that.
Please let it go and proceed with your broadcast.
It's Walmart, isn't it? It's a Walmart item. That's what I bet it is. Is it a Versace?
You're making me uncomfortable again, Knuckles.
Well, we have a great package here that we want to share with you and show all the fans about the #1 wrestler, in my opinion, in all of wrestling Star Wars, Astro Man. Let's take you to that footage right now.